Welcome back, guys. And in my opinion, The Last of Us Part 2 is a masterpiece. I feel like Neil Druckmann's vision for this narrative is amazing. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I feel like The Last of Us Part 2 is a masterpiece and not trash. Spoiler warnings, so if you haven't played the game or finished the game, I suggest you click off the video now, go play it, then come back. But I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I feel like it's a masterpiece, and we're going to talk about what people are so upset about, what the controversy about the game is, and why people are so upset about it. 1 is Joel's death. 2 is what happens at the end of the game, how it ends. And 3, how you had to play a character that people did not want to play. So let's get started. So the first thing we'll talk about is Joel's death. Now, Joel's death is something that a lot of people were shocked about when they played the game, because a lot of people thought that it was going to be Abby's girlfriend that make her go on a killing spree. But no, it was Joel. Joel died. A lot of people feel like the way Joel died is not really who he was as a character. He was never trusting as a character. And I can agree with you on that. Right here on this video, I can agree with you that Joel was not a trusting character. Joel is an iconic character. Everyone loves Joel from The Last of Us. Everyone, including me. He was a red blood, kick-ass Texan that didn't trust anyone. And I loved him for that. But let's not forget, Joel wasn't a great guy. He wasn't a stand-up citizen. He did what he had to do to survive. And when he first met Ellie, she was just nothing but a job for him. She was just something for a job for him. And so they traveled across the world to this place where he started to really care for this character. And that shows growth. A character that is one way, and throughout the period of the game, they develop and get new, better behavior. New characteristics that is more appealing, more understanding, more interesting. And I feel like Neil Druckmann did that with Abby. So I don't understand why people are acting like how Joel died was something that was just totally done in to shoehorn another character. Because let's look at it. Let's look at the context. A lot of people say it's the context. The main argument they have with the context is that that's not part of Joel's characteristics. He would not have trusted Abby. But let's not forget how they met. And they come, and they complain about how they met, how Joel fell in her lap. No, Joel didn't fall in her lap. They traveled all the way from Seattle to the city that Joel was at, and they figured out a way how to flesh him out. Owen, one of the characters that's friends with Abby, decided to go back to where the rest of the gang was, where the rest of the people were that came on a mission with Abby. Abby decided, no, I'm going to go after him. And she traveled to go after him. She tried to go around to get to the city and ended up running into Joel. So it wasn't a coincidence. In the middle of a blizzard, she was being chased by zombies. And she ran smack into them. And Joel and his brother helped her. Now, no matter how he don't trust anyone, they was put in a situation where Joel and his brother either had to sit up there and try to fight their way back to the city where they're from, stay there and fight off the horde of infected people, or trust this character to get out of there safely. They didn't have any choices. Neil Druckmann made it very simple and very crystal clear on why Joel and his brother decided to go with Abby. They was in a situation where they either had to sit up there and fight to go back to the settlement, which was probably a little bit farther than where Abby was located at. They went to the quickest spot they can get away from the herd, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I feel like Joel made a decision to trust a character because he had no other choice. Either stay there and fight the hordes of infected people that was coming after him, or try to make a run for it back to the city, which probably was a lot farther than where Abby was stationed at. And that's why they made that decision. They had no other choice but to do that to survive. And Joel would do anything to survive to make it back to Ellie. We already know that from the previous game, from The Last of Us 1. He would do anything he had to do to survive to make sure that he's there for Ellie. So in that situation, he had to go against what he would normally do. And sometimes in life, you make decisions based on situation, even though it's not usually what you would do. And that's what I think Neil Druckmann was trying to tell in that scene. That he was forced to make a decision that he normally would not make, in my opinion. Now, I don't know if you guys would think that I don't know if you agree with me on that, but that's just my opinion. Yes, that was not part of his characteristics. That was not something that he would usually do. But he was put in a situation where he had to. And then another argument they have under that is that they could have had many other ways. They could have had it where they fought off the zombies and he died like that, or after they fought off all the herd, he was exhausted and lowered his guard, and Abby took him out there. I mean, yes, they could have did it a number of ways. What they wanted to do was they wanted him to fall at the hands of this character that killed the man who killed her father. Now, a lot of people do not like Abby because she killed Job. A lot of people thought that she was sure in. She was forced to play as her because they killed Job. They sure her in. They made her in there, and they feel like they was pandering to the SJWs. That's what the talk is in the gaming community. That she was pushed upon us, even though we don't want to play as her because she killed an iconic character. And I think that's just really simple-minded to think. Really simple-minded to think like that. Because one, you need to understand why she was so motivated to kill this man. What made her want to kill this man? Job, even when you start playing the first one, you play through the first Last of Us. Job had a lot of enemies. Even in Last of Us 2, Ellie was telling her friends that Job made a lot of enemies. A lot of enemies. He was a tough SUB. He did what he had to do to survive, and he stepped on whatever he had to step on. That was the type of individual he was. And just because you grow as a character and you show love towards a person that you want to raise as your own doesn't mean you don't stop being a dick to everyone else. I'm sorry. Job wasn't an innocent man. He wasn't this heroic character everyone make him out to be. He was a character that was interesting, fun, and intriguing. And I say that I am a big fan of Job as well. Don't get me wrong, I love Job. He's an interesting, lovable character that I can relate to. On being protective of the people I love. That's how I relate to Job. And I think that's how a lot of other people in the gaming community relates to him. That he's someone that don't take chances, protect the people he loves. That's who he was. And I can understand it. But don't sit up there and pass judgment on Abby because because her whole existence for joining that militia or army she joined was to go after Job. She wanted to take him down because he killed her father. You don't find that out until later in the game. So I can understand why people are a little frustrated. They're angry about Job being killed, and you don't find out the reason why she killed Job until later on in the game. I can understand why you're upset, but that's just how Naughty Dog do it. They keep you in suspense. That's why I feel like Neil Druckmann's vision for this narrative was not stupid. It was not lazy writing. It was writing to keep you engaged. Job is not the protagonist of The Last of Us Part 2. So saying he killed all the protagonists is absurd, because he's not the protagonist of this game. He was the protagonist of the first Last of Us, but Ellie is the protagonist of Last of Us Part 2. The story is about her revenge story. And let's not forget something else, that all Abby did was kill Joel. He let his brother and Ellie go. They messed them up, but they let them live. Now, when Ellie and then went after Abby, they killed a lot more of Abby's friends and family than Abby did to them. So let's look at that. So you go and take out someone that harms your family, your brother, your sister, your wife, your lover, and you let everyone else around, someone that's close to them, live. Yes, it's a big mistake if you're thinking about survival. But she was drove by emotions. Abby was drove by emotions to get revenge for her father. And a lot of people say that Ellie didn't get any revenge. Ellie got lots of revenge. She killed a lot of Abby's friends. She killed her lover. She killed one of her friends. She killed a lot of her comrades. I mean, why is she doing that? Abby's out there doing things to save people and trying to be a better person. I don't understand why they can't give Abby her credit. She was a very interesting character. And her perspective was interesting indeed. Now I know what you're going to say. Well, the first one, the Fireflies, was a renegade organization. They was militia. They was doing things that the government didn't want them to do. They was trying to be heroes. That's all that Ellie saw when she was a part of them. All Joe's brother saw when he was a part of them. They was an organization trying to save the world. Silly as it may sound, that's what they were trying to do. And I feel like Abby was an interesting character, and I feel like introducing her into the game was interesting. And the reactions and the reactions she had with other people in her within her circle were interesting. They were fun. They weren't amazing. They were interesting enough to make me understand who this character was. And I think Abby was an interesting character. Now let's get to the third thing. What happens towards the end? How does part two end? Part two ends when Ellie chases down Abby after Abby's been captured and been hanging up for a while, weakened, starved, lost a lot of her muscle mass, just really drained. And she decides to free her from the bridge, free her from where she was being held at, to kill her. And towards where she almost had her killed, she saw an image of Job, and it made her stop. And a lot of people have some interesting comments on this, and a lot of their comments are interesting and valid. I mean, in the midst of you killing someone that took your father away from you, you see a vision of them. Would you stop? It depends on what that person is thinking at the time. Not everyone is home. Not everyone, after seeing all that much bloodshed and death, after you've seen a lot of bloodshed and death for so long, it's not that easy to sit up there and just continue. Abby and Ellie had a confrontation before the end of the game, and Abby won. Abby whooped their behind, and only reason why Abby did not kill them because they killed her lover, Owens, the one man she had feelings for throughout the whole game, was killed by Ellie, and the pregnant woman were killed. So Abby wanted an eye for eye, but the person that she was with at the time told her no, and she spared them and told them not to come looking for them again. Ellie went home, settled down with her family, but Joe's brother won't let her forget. She can't eat, she can't sleep. What Ellie was going through is what Abby went through from entire of her childhood. From the entire of her childhood, she couldn't eat. She could eat. She was bulky, but she was having nightmares. She was always upset. You know, people grieve differently, and I think that that's what a lot of people are missing when they talk about this game, like that. Abby did not suffer after finding out her father was killed. Then the biggest argument they have is that she saw Abby kill Joe in front of her. She came in when she was about to finish off with Joe. Let's get it straight now. She got there when Joe was already bloody and beaten, and she saw her finish Job off. She saw her finish Job off. That's what she saw, and it was traumatic for her. Now imagine walking in, younger than that, walking in and seeing your father laying there in blood. It may not be as dramatic as seeing someone kill someone you love in front of you, but it's dramatic in itself. And I feel like that's what drove Abby to do what she did, to hunt Job down and kill him. She just wanted Job. Ellie continued the cycle. And rightfully so, because she killed her father. But you can't say that she did not get revenge, because she killed a majority of Ellie's family. I mean, not Ellie, Abby's family. Her lover, her friends, a lot of her comrades were killed. And so Abby killed a couple of her comrades. The only thing that Abby had was a comrade that she met because she saved that individual. And while she was out there doing all this, Ellie was dispatching her friends and family. I mean, I don't know what else you can say. Regardless of how people feel, everyone can't get past Joe being killed. That's what I feel like. Everyone can't be getting past Joe was killed. And as I said in the beginning of this video, Joe had no other choice to either trust that character, Abby, or fight off the herd. And he made this choice. Regardless, it was not part of his characteristic. The way Neil Druckmann set that up was that he had a choice, a really important choice to make in a little bit of time, and he chose to go with the stranger because he felt like going with the stranger he had a higher rate of surviving, and that's all that was. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about my 3 reasons why I feel like it's a masterpiece. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Why? I'd love to see all the comments in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for sending to the video. I really appreciate that. Make sure you hit the like button, helps out the channel. Make sure you share it, helps us as well. And if you haven't become a Mad Gamer yet, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell because we got a lot more content coming for you guys. Talk to you guys later. I'm out.